Maybe you're trying to learn Japanese right now and you're wondering, how long will it take me to become conversationally fluent? Maybe 1 year? Maybe 2 years? That's a pretty good assumption, but for me, it has taken over 20 plus years for me to be able to speak at a barely kindergarten level. And you might be asking, how? How is that possible? And it makes it even worse considering that I'm actually half Japanese. One of my parents is born and raised in Japan and can fluently speak both English and Japanese, and I, as their child, cannot speak Japanese. If you hand a kid a textbook or Rosetta Stone and just be like, go ahead, learn the language, they're probably not going to learn it because there's not much guidance, and that's exactly what happened to me. One of my parents is Japanese. They speak Japanese fluently, they speak English fluently, but when the only language that you hear around you in the household is only English and you don't go into any Japanese classes and you have no guidance when you're trying to self-study Japanese, you aren't going to learn the language. And I have actually been studying Japanese for a really, really long time, trying to self-study, but I always got sidetracked and kind of stopped studying for long periods of time because, I had life, I had school, I had a ton of extracurriculars, and it just kind of got pushed to the back of my mind a lot, which is really unfortunate because being half Japanese usually means that you have family in Japan. When it comes to my family who currently live in Japan, they don't know English that well. They might know a couple words, but they don't speak it fluently. So obviously growing up, it's kind of hard for me to know that I have family in Japan that I've met and I've visited before, but I've never been able to have a real, full-on conversation with them. I've been able to talk to them before by doing gestures like playing charades and using the words that I kind of know, but never have I ever had a full-on conversation with the Japanese side of my family, and I really, really, really want to change that, and I've been working hard to try to change that. For the very first time in my life, I've actually gotten the chance to have a formal class of learning Japanese, and that was all last year, and it was amazing because I've never had that before, and I was really excited. And then my university was like, we only have 2 classes for Japanese, so you're not actually going to learn how to speak it conversationally fluently, you're probably going to learn the most basic stuff. And so I took the classes last year and now I don't have any more, and so now it's really on me to try to learn the language on my own, and I'm really, really serious about it this time around. I have the Genki textbooks, which I know everyone uses when they're trying to learn Japanese, and we made it to chapter 8 in my Japanese class in my university, but I haven't had much time to review what I learned from last school year. So now that I actually have more time on my hands, I want to review and get through this whole book. There's 24 chapters. It's a pretty big book, and it looks really beat up because I've had this for years. And I even have the second book. So that's what this channel is about. This channel is going to be about me learning Japanese, all the different parts of Japanese, reading, writing, speaking, understanding, kanji, which I am very nervous about. But yeah, so I'm probably going to be uploading once a week on this channel about my experience in learning Japanese and just documenting it. And hopefully we can build a nice little fun community of people who want to learn Japanese. But yeah, let's get started with this week's video, where I'm going to mainly be reviewing a bunch of the vocabulary and a bunch of the grammar from the previous chapters that I might have forgotten.